Yeah, can you taste that beat?
Stick to the roof of your jamming mind. Don't let it stop, don't let it stop. It's peanut butter Phlox'em time.
Spread it thick, don't let it flop. We're spreading on,
Oh yeah,
we're spreading on. Keep it creamy now. We're spreading on,
oh yeah.
we're spreading on. Keep it creamy now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Phlox'em All. We've got another KAGI match today. I know live. There's also the Portland Vault Tour going on, which is really exciting. Got some friends over there, so excited to go see what they're doing. So I think their first round is going to start about the same time that Dinobot's match and mine will start. But that's okay, because if they're doing Archon or Alliance, those games will usually go a little bit faster over there than ours will go. So you can come catch later, or you can just watch this on the VOD if that's what you're already doing. So yeah, should be a fun one. So we're playing Adaptive, best of 3, against Dinobot in our KAGI pod of Unfathomable. And I've still been struggling with what to play for Adaptive for this season. I think I landed on a DT deck for this round. This is a deck I used to play a little bit more in like NKFL and stuff back when I didn't really have very good decks. This was at least one that could do a lot of stall and had some decent burst, a little bit of like purging and stuff. It has some pretty big weaknesses for sure, and you have to be really careful of how you're doing the creature control in it because it really relies on the infighting. But I think that means it's got some interesting stuff. Mechabooey is always an interesting one in Adaptive. Some of the evil twins can actually be interesting in here as well, especially with the Etheric Conjecture. The Professor Garwins can actually do some interesting stuff. Tall Mage, you got to remember how that one's working. Alms Master is kind of nice. Everything in here can be useful, but it's kind of about you have to kind of make sure you're planning your turns ahead a little bit. So we'll see. It's again, I'm trying to stay away from those like really, I don't even know what to call them, like glass cannon decks, even though I think I enjoy those a lot, especially ones that are really artifact dependent. Like I love artifacts and I love artifact dependent decks, but in Adaptive, I've just found so often they can swing the game so much from game to game, depending on when the artifacts come down. And so I'm trying to stick with decks that are just a little bit more consistent and just kind of, you know, really, really test those Keyforge fundamentals. Captain Gale, welcome in. Yeah, Alms Master Evil Twin is a really cool one. And especially in this deck, if you can get it between like the eddies and stuff, it can be really nice. Or if you're just fighting with some other Sanctum stuff, you just drop that and kind of just run them into stuff to get some extra Amber control. It's a card that definitely surprises people, I think. First or Last, also a really nice one in here. Cleansing Wave with the infighting can actually do a lot depending on if they're playing like armor and stuff. So we'll see. Dinobot, I know, likes his Worlds Collide and Mass Mutation, which Worlds Collide could be rough with this one, but Mass Mutation, I think this has a decent matchup unless they've got Purging. Let's see. Let's see if he's got a password for me. Super excited. Two of my locals, both Dave C and Magic Duck, both made it to the top 4 in Sealed at Portland yesterday. So really excited to watch them play. But again, today is not going to be the finals of the Sealed. It might be tonight. I don't remember how they do that. These kids. Actually not sure. I think Dave is still playing Alliance, and I think Magic Duck is playing Archon, so excited to cheer them on for that too. But a long day of them playing, especially with even from us, they're 2 hours behind time wise. So there's a lot to watch. So we're fine. We're starting this one now. Okay, so let's see. DT going first. Dinobot, true to form, bringing some worlds collide. Does have the double hysteria, but no Infernus. Okay, so that's very interesting. I think this might be the one we saw him play in his last match. Spartosaur is pretty strong into us. That's some good creature control. I mean, all of the Saurian, there's not too much. There's the Trisarian Legionary, Fairy Guardians. I mean, our creature control is going to do a decent amount. Important thing is most of what he's got is like 4 power or higher. And so our thin herd, which we see right now, is not doing a whole lot. This would be fun if we had more Tide Raisers in the deck, but our only Tide Raisers are in Sanctum. So we're going to try and find one of those. I think this is a fine start. I think we're actually... Do we do the Novu first? I think we do. That just gives us more utility. Actually, we could just go with the Deepwater Gruin, and then we can... Yeah, let's do that. Big body and get some pressure on the board. Hammergrams could be really nice against the Saurian stuff or the Star Alliance. This is a lot of stuff that's not easy for my deck to kill. First or last could be really good. I maybe should have been greedier with that, but I didn't want to have to take the Tide. I think that's a big thing with this deck is it needs to keep moving. And I guess his deck really doesn't deal with Amber very well, does it? It's like the Rock Grub, Odoak. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe that greed would have been the right call there. I also just had a lot of the creature control, though, like right off the bat, which I think... I don't know. It's fair. Saying there's interesting stuff to play around. Probably talking about the infighting in first or last. I think with his deck is so board dependent. Those are going to be really big for me. So got the Quester. Just Shrix. Probably just kill the Quester, see if the Hammergram has another. I think we're going Sanctum next turn, though. Although, yeah, if we play the Logos out, it probably just gets Phalanx striked. Oof. Oh, come on. All right, so we were not greedy enough. So infighting still does plenty to this board, but I think we can wait for now. Do I let him have a turn of using this, though? Problem is, if I kill the Quester, I think we go Sanctum, drop him on the right. Hammergram, the Shrix, and the Brutodon. Now infighting is killing most of the board. Okay, so next turn we'll probably go Logos, get some setup going, and then just wait for a big infighting buildup. Goes back into Saurian, so really wants to force that out of me. Might have the Phalanx Strike now, or it's Spartosaur. I don't know if we have a great kill on Spartosaur here. Is doing the exalting stuff though, so not too afraid, even though we have a fight with Deepwater. Chant of Hubris is gonna move it. That's fair. But if he's only moving one card this turn, I think we're fine with that. Because dealing with keys is not too much of a problem. Oh, he does have the Phalanx Strike. Got some dogs. Welcome. Again, I know this is not the best timing with Portland starting like right now too. Second Chant of Hubris? What is this draw? That's a lot of dinos in the first 2 turns. That's 7. We can stop the key with Eddie. Even with the Shricks. Have more Eddies coming, so usually we're still able to get attacks here. I don't think he has any random discard or anything, right? No stealth mode, so it really doesn't matter too much. We get 2 more Logos cards, so we can basically retax again even if he kills all of this. But I think we go into Untamed here. I really wanted him to play Creatures from Another House just to... I was hoping the stunning would do that. Probably not going to get Ambromancy value either here. But this is a board he also probably has to fight. He did just burn his only real creature control in Saurian. Unless he's got Spartosaur. If he has Spartosaur here, then we're in trouble. No, he's just going to do some fighting now. That's fine. Wish we had Cleansing Wave. That'd be a really nice Cleansing Wave here, but... work with what you got. Depending on, let's see. Using this Amber could be really bad for us if he does that, so we might just need a kill. Feels pretty bad burning the infighting here, though. Could almost just go back into Logos and tax it for 9. Does exalt the Quester, because the Quester's not dying to an infighting. Just not seeing any of our pressure here. Because infighting is killing 2. But then we get to play a big board, but then you probably Hysterias right after that. Man. I wanted to play more creatures, so we're going to go Logos. Okay, there's our Cleansing Wave. Now we get to reorganize our stuff too, so now we have only Untamed in hand. He could like fight Quester into Eddie and then just reappear. That wouldn't be terrible for him. Okay, we get a Discall though. Let's see him discard some Hysterias. I wonder if playing Staunch Knight is actually incorrect here. Because we want that first or last to be hitting his bigger stuff. Okay, we're totally happy in fighting this board. Malison will have damage on it, so it won't be able to fight anything. We get to fill our board. There's no power counters, unfortunately, but I think we just burn that. No. Ow. So we do Youngest Bear here, and then I guess we don't really have to play around infighting anymore since we just played it. All right, we're starting to gain amber. We're getting some stuff, and we got a board now. But again, we probably get hit with Hysteria here, which would not feel great with this Untamed. But I don't mind the Eddie getting brought back, although he probably fights it with one of these. Did he? He did not discard the Hysteria. Got our first or last now, which should be able to deal with the Spartosaur. And we've got our Tide Razors. But Cleansing Wave could also be pretty fun. I wonder if I should have played one more creature there to get a bigger Cleansing Wave. Maybe not. I mean, if he has Hysteria's here, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be thinking about not taking that greedy turn the rest of the day now. Why would you come on here and just point out mistakes I make? It's okay. That's why we play. Just to get better, right? Do start getting some amber too. He hasn't played Star Alliance yet. I would be so fine with a Star Alliance turn here just to refill the board. He's got to have a good amount, and our stuff deals with plenty of it. Does go into Dis. Okay, so probably Hysteria. Fight the Yeti. Hysteria the rest. Reaps of that around to kill one. Okay. I think that probably helps me more than not. I mean, so like I think in adaptive too, it can really pay to be greedy in game one. Because it can make your opponent think that there's a lot more pressure coming from the deck than there is normally, and that can just kind of skew all of your thoughts about the deck, right? Okay, so we lose a Miliobi, fights off the Eddie. Okay, here's his Exhume. That kind of makes me feel like it's not a Hysteria. Brutodon. Okay, so we can raise the tide, play some Sanctum stuff, get a bunch of amber. He doesn't have any scaling control, right? It's basically the disruption field. So I think we go. Sanctum does walk us right back into what we were scared of with the Hysteria, but I mean, he doesn't want to Hysteria his board now either. But I think we have to hold the first or last here. That sets us up for a good Logos turn. Okay, so Cleansing Wave still doesn't let me survive against that, unfortunately. Cleansing Wave, left. Do I fight the Edorum here? No, he's got a lot of turns of this already. He probably wants to play Star Alliance here. Which, this Youngest Bear is actually kind of unfortunate. I think if this isn't here, we have potential of purging a lot of Star Alliance stuff with this too. He could like... he doesn't even have Zap. So he's not even going to kill it. Then the Herd can do similar though. Except does he have many? So many of them are 4 power. Like, this is going to be so much 4 power board. I think that's still fine for us. Because we only have 1, 2, and then we're up at 4. And he's got the 3. Might be an Untamed turn though. We've got some insurance now with a submersive. Hope to get a key here. Ward is unfortunate. But we can enrage it, which kind of makes it not very impactful. And this not getting a ward means I can get rid of it. I wouldn't mind getting the Mecha Buoy online here, but I think we can wait one more turn. Yeah, we definitely need to enrage that. Oh, it is a fight effect anyways. Bummer. It'll lose the ward, though, off of the Thin the Herd. Plays Calvin. And Moon. Okay. Gonna shift stuff to try and avoid the enrages. Really wish we had some power counters for the Spore Gorger, but there's not a lot of that in this deck. Okay, so throwing Staunch Knight into the middle so it's not as big. That actually helps us with the first or last. Does turn off the youngest bear though, unfortunately. So I think we wait a turn on the logos and just try to deal with this board. So then the herd will hit. I mean, we could just fight the bear off, but there's not really anything great to hit here. I think we fight off Calvin. Reap with a Spore Gorger. Reap here, and then it's going to be 2, 3, 3, 4. Because I can't let the Star Alliance board live. Oh, we did not get to enrage the Quester doing it that way. That's okay. All right, so getting this logos down is going to be kind of clunky. Yeah, just missed a lot of things we would like to see by now. Okay, they're going Saurian though, which means we probably have a fine submersive play. Solves the Quester. What do we even have left here? Spartosaur and Paraguardian? Maybe it's just a Sanctum call. We could actually first or last this too, but I think saving that for Spartosaur will be pretty important. And we want to stop this key. Okay, and they're fighting my stuff off too, which is fine. Oh, I totally forgot to fix my YouTube, so that was background music. Sorry about that. Ooh, Phlox'em definitely changes that math a little bit. That is going to be a lot of words. Can we outrace him if we get the tide pressure going? We can't even get to this guy, but we can stop him from getting warded again. Feeling a lack of targeted removal. Yeah, that Dino start was so rough. So first or last here gets rid of Paraguardian and Brutodon. We still can't kill that thing. But it also doesn't stop the key. mean, he just goes back into Saurian and reaps for a key here and probably plays Spartosaur to clear my board. Man. Yeah, this is not... I feel like this should not be too tough of a matchup for our deck. Although, I mean, all the big dinos is tough, and having to burn the infighting early is not great. We do have another submersive coming, so... Gosh, there's just so many dinosaurs. Maybe this is not a good matchup. It's too much board for us. This clears a little bit out, but probably not enough. Oh, never mind. There's the wards. Okay. I think it's Sanctum now. We just have to purge this stuff. And try to outrace him, which he may be able to do, but this thing's gonna start going crazy now. These just aren't giving me enough value. This stuff is really doing almost nothing for me, unfortunately. Almage just never really doing enough damage anymore because we only have one Logos card left. Lowest just pops the ward. Oh no, that just kills the Garwins now, so. At the highest, kill these two. Okay, we got the submersive. I think timing on that is what we want. So much is going to depend on if he finds... Actually, even if he finds the Spartosaur here, I don't think he can board clear because he can't kill any of his own stuff. None of ours is big enough. And the Phalanx Strike is gone. So he goes to 9. He just reaps out here. I don't think there's any more action cards left, right? Yeah. I think the only thing, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Only thing you can find is oh, he does get an extra reap off of Legatus. That might be enough then. Yeah. But Spartosaur needs one of his creatures to die, right? But I guess, yeah, he could fight twice with one of his, but he's not doing that. Or it's too late for him to do that. This is still only dealing 3 damage though, which isn't to kill. Ooh, we can actually kill this guy. Oh no, except we lost a Garwin now. Shoot. And the Garwin got stunned anyways. Hmm. After this turn, we're just gonna have the one capture. I think the wards are actually probably one of the... I mean, the creature protection in general is a pretty big problem for this deck. Still deciding what he's doing here on his last plays. He does Exalt the Jarda again because there's just no way for us to kill it. So we're at 6. Go down to 3. Or we don't have a way to kill. Do we ever? Not really. Growth Surge and Untamed. We won't be able to stop the key in Untamed. And if my archiving was a little bit different, we'd be able to just stop this with Eddie. We can stop him from using the fight on this again. That's what we have to do. 1, 2. Didn't even get our 1 capture. That's gonna be game. Bummer. Yeah, that's tough. I feel like kind of expected that to... Didn't quite expect it to go like that. Let's see, is Portland Day 2 not happening yet? Did they have their timer wrong? But now we can, yeah, just run this into anything, and I lose to Spartasaur too. I lose the board to Spartasaur. Which almost gives me enough amber. But not quite. I think we were definitely missing some of this pump stuff for Untamed earlier in the game. Would have been pretty handy. So I could definitely see this going against me game 2, but can I kill this out of spite? I don't think so. Dang. Interesting. So I mean, this Legatus was played turn 1, right? And I just did not have a way to kill it. I think what is it? The moon is actually also really bad for this deck, because this deck needs stuff to be kind of in order. Dino would also raise if you had gone to 5. Let's see. Dinobot is now going first. Quester Jarda. What did I say? A goddess? Ah, shoot. So this is not a 7 card. Sorry, and start. In case you're wondering. I don't mind this though, especially the Exhume gets its award back. Not much steel in there, so I don't know if it's worth keeping an Amber on. Of course, he's got it right away. Don't mind getting these wards out though. That'll be pretty huge. I guess just like playing these 4 and reaping the rest of the game might be enough. We will see. Have to do some fighting in there, I'm sure, but how do we order this for infighting? Like medic, Kirkar, Kincan, maybe. Just deciding on the archives here. Plays a stall mage to ping the ward. That's fine. Okay. Do I like that? Medic, ward, Kirkar, Kincan, or do I do 1 medic, Kirkar? No, because I want the Kincan. I think this is fine. Oh, I guess I could put 1 medic on the other side of Legionary. Let's do that. The medics just ward themselves for now. There's no reason not to. Alright, we've got the Calvin too, so we should be able to just start reaping and drawing. Phalanx Strike is also pretty great here. They don't have any Amber to steal, unfortunately, so Kincan's not live yet. Only... do we have it? Let's see. No house overlap too, so should be getting lots of steals here. If we can keep their board clear. Okay. If this is infighting, then we just have to deal with it. Yep. But that doesn't really do a whole lot. The Thin the Herd hurts more. That's a lot of our Star Alliance gone, but we get to keep our Saurian board, and now that's basically all of their creature control gone. Didn't put anything down, though, for us to chant onto. So I wonder if we wait a turn and just do the... Oh, they got shuffled, so we don't get to put anything. This is a little cagey, but I think we're just going to do it this way. Wait for him to play more creatures, because this deck has to play some creatures. Now we get to chant an Amber off of Quester. So Tall Mage, Infighting, and then the Herd are all gone. I think he's in trouble. Especially if last game was any indication. Really bummed. I wonder if I should have done it so that one of these Ingrams would have actually died to infighting, just so we'd be able to exhume one to get the ward back. That's a really... I mean, I'm not expecting him to have both of these in the same hand, so I don't think that's really like a super smart to play that way. Okay, we're gonna Reap Exalt. We will chant. Reap Phalanx here. Okay, I think we're off to the races now. I do still do a Star Alliance turn here because we just want to make sure we have some of these options down, but I mean, we're just going to copy the Stunner Ward on Quester. We already know that that's almost impossible for this to deal with. First or last gets us here. These three or this guy are all dead to first or last, but now this guy blocks it. Aura, Strange Ordination, double Strange Ordination. All right, and the Mecha Buoy. Oh, actually, I do want to play that as a creature. We're going to rearrange the battle line once we get Kirkard down. So let's just put... I think we'll go ahead and just put the Stunner on Kirkard just to get a proc here. It's nice to put it on him, but I think we just want to stop these guys from reaping. Ingram wards itself again. Calvin. Rearrange mine. And we don't really have to worry about infighting anymore. Don't get to check. I almost can take the tide there, but we'll do that when it's closer. Stuns were important, so I wonder if I should have blocked this a little bit more, but... yeah, now we just get to go Star Alliance. This guy's more important at this point. I don't think I need to fight anything. So he's played one Martial Ewer, but he just did... I mean, he'll still have another Sanctum turn. He's going to get some off of a Cleansing Wave, but I don't think there's much we can do about that. We'll wait one more turn before raising the tide. But I think there is a point where we probably raise the tide in this match. All three houses, so there was... I mean, yeah, we can't blow up the Mecha Buoy, so we wouldn't have gotten the steal. But we can go into Dis to steal if we need to. I don't think that's worth it here, but... So what'll this be? Second Submersive maybe, and some Theory Conjectures, or another Eddy. We have not seen any of the Theory Conjectures yet. Let's see if he uses them as Wild Wormholes, or... There's one. Okay, Archives. So now I think we take the tide here. So we'll Reap, Stun one of these. We can just fight this here. We want to ward a ward. I don't think he can really hurt us with first or last now either. Let's go ahead and get the Can. We will take the tide here. Okay, so he's got to go Logos, which is going to hit his own Amber unless he's got an Eddy. But just went Logos. Still has 2 Eddies and a Submersive, so definitely could be a little bit more work to stop this key, but the Star Alliance just kind of deals with that. This DT deck not looking great in this matchup, I will say. If the music is too loud or not. Okay, is Logos' turn. Does take the Archives, which means he had something in there he needed. Also means he's not taking the Tide unless he's taking Chains. Plays a Theory for more Archives. Plays an Eddy. Does take the Tide there. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just, you go back into Star Alliance here. So to stop the key, he'll have to go into Logos, so I think we just clear the Logos board now. Oh, I guess he's getting that anyway, so it doesn't matter. And we can do this Tide game all day since we're drawing off Calvin. So all he's got left is one more Eddy, which doesn't stop it. Second Submersive gets us to 5, but has to take the Tide again to do that. And has to take the Tide before doing that, which is important. Yeah, Untamed is just going to be game there. I think these Meliobes are pretty important in this matchup. You just have to find them early, I think. Ooh, there you go. Especially for something like that. Where'd these +1 power counters come from? What had power counters? I guess these guys all did, huh? One. Okay, so we're betting on the Worlds Collide deck. Yeah, another game 3, which stresses me out. I'm not really sure what to bid on this. Both games, we saw the creature control really early in Blaze Kit. We haven't seen Hysterias played ever. It is more fun for the audience. I do think if this just draws some creatures, Chains will hurt it a lot. We also saw Phalanx Strikes pretty early, but Tricerian Legionaries come late every time. Chans we've hardly seen. Those games both played very similar. So like, I don't think it's super high. I think we'll still go to 5. But I don't think I'm going over like 7. He goes to 6. I think we're still going 7. It's not going first. The DT deck is going first. He might get this to me at 7. But that means I have a chance to get more creatures down early. I think we pass at 8 chains. I think Blaze Kit. Okay, and DT's going first. What are these starting hands though? Okay, I think we're alright with this. Staunch Knight, and then we've got a nice follow-up with some creature control. Maybe we just archive the Submersive. Hysteria is fine, so now we archive the Staunch Knight. We just play Submersive so we get a kill on the Eterome. Actually, no. We're gonna archive Untamed. Let's make sure we have our creature control ready to go. Okay. Looking all right. Would love to see some Tide Razor, but we can maybe just go for it. Again, infighting and thin the herd, early and in the same hand. This is kind of crazy. Second Hysteria. What is happening? All right, we're just purging it. Taking chains. Like, this is just so unfortunate for this deck to see 3 games in a row. We only deal 2 damage to it. We're still not gaining Amber on these Logos turns. I don't think he wants to go this again, though. Do we just thin the herd it and then play Spore Gorge or Meliobe? Hold the infighting. No, we can get better than that. I think if we go Sanctum here, he just plays a bunch of Sorry and then we can thin the herd all of it. There's Moon. There's a medic. We were kind of expecting that though. Boards itself is fine. We can get rid of it with both of these, but that just seems kind of like a waste. If we just ping it here, he's not really getting a lot of value. Let's go Logos. Try and get a little bit more Untamed. Act like we're not playing around infighting. Okay, Hammergram's not bad. Marshall Ewer. Okay, here's the Saurian. Actually, this is a little bit better because it gets rid of the Garwin for the Thin the Herd. Definitely planned that. 100%. But like, no theories yet. So many, like, just can't believe this deck has seen the same draws so many games now in a row. Okay, so protecting the Shrix. Chant of Hubris is unfortunate. So we can Marshall Ewer. Fight Hammergram? No, because then he still gets the chant. I think we have to end fighting here. Question is, do we also thin the herd? Yeah, it throws everything. Just crazy. Spore Gorger, Meliob. And we know the Hysterias are gone now. We've got double stuns on the Sanctum turn. We're still slow on... Amber generation, but yeah, this is fine. You were... Stun... Stun... Wait. I've got the Reaper So for the Stampede, because, you know, that's a game, or that's a card you're supposed to definitely aim for using. I mean, we get punished by Spartasaur here, unfortunately, but I don't think there's much we can do with that. Failing Strike would also be rough, but now we just need to put the gas down. He's got to have a lot of dinos in hand. So he puts dinos down. We could just Spore Gorger with the Reaper So, but then we don't get the Stampede. And I like getting this guy back in the deck too. Just, it's not a ton, but it's some creature control in Logos. So those turns when you're taxing, you can actually do something with it. Okay, so it goes dinos. Would have been very different if we'd have found the no Failing Strike. All right, so this is a perfect spot for us. So how do we do this? So Meliob fights here, enrages those two. Is that right? Maybe we also fight into the Legatus because it wants to be enraged anyways. Reaper Sowing the Youngest Bear next to Ewer. Maybe we just... Yeah. That's fine. Fight. I guess if we wait on playing the Youngest Bear. Oh, it's fine. I don't think we need to do the Spore Gorger turn here. Reap. No. Shouldn't be able to fight into anything successfully now, and then we get to Stampede for the steal. And he's got an Untamed board to deal with. Can't do his wards. Again, Spartasaur comes down. This all goes bad very quickly. But there's not really a whole lot we can do about that, so dang it. It's just so good. That's crazy. We don't have like any destroyed effects or anything. He does have to lose his Legatus though for that, which we will take. But he gets to ward this stuff, and we don't really have an answer to that. Warded Spartosaur, so it's just a race now, right? And as Odoac. Come on. Come on. Actually, that's interesting, because now I don't know if he can actually proc the Spartosaur. Well, archive. We don't play this guy. I mean, he just gets to fight anyways, right? I guess it forces him to. Yeah, let's do that. But now he's going to start getting the fight value. Loses another dino. Might be one more Logos turn. This is a good time to do the submersive and get the Mecha Buoy out. Three damage still just does not help us. We can at least get rid of the ward. I think that's worth doing here. Some nice burst in Sanctum. Especially with the cleansing wave. See if he takes the tide here. That would be kind of interesting. Oh, he found the Phlox'em. No! Did he even play cards last turn? He didn't. Where'd he get the Phlox'em from? Didn't take the tide, though, which I think is really important here. So we're going to go Sanctum. Play one of the worst cards printed. Strange Ord. Alms Master. Shifting. Cleansing Wave just for one. And then we have Amber to get the check next turn. Especially with the Growth Surge Ambermancy. Might be able to do it. Oh, chain ended. Good call. That makes sense. What do you even dig for here? His deck just... I mean, he doesn't know what's coming with this Untamed turn, I guess. Sure, only Amber Control is in your discard, basically. Right? Disruption Field's gone, Rock Grub's gone, Malisons are gone, and Odoac is on the board. He's just thinking he can outrace me. which he's getting a lot of amber, so he's doing a decent job of that, but this Untamed turn is nutty. Okay, takes the Tide there. It's fine. We could just Mollymawk it, but I don't think we need to because we want the Tide anyways for this. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we go to 10. I don't think he's stopping that. Take that back, thank you. Man, we got there. Oh, that was scary. That Spartosaur coming down when it did was brutal. But I think we found just the right stuff to kind of keep our heads above water. Yeah, going Saurian, just getting as much value out of this, but if there's an Imperial Forge in this deck, it'd be pretty silly. But we drew them. Look at this. We drew them together again. Like, this is 4 draws in a row. It's just such a, I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, it's a cool adaptive deck. I think it's a good one to bring because it really is tricky to know. But I mean, like, the problem is, like, you have to know when you're losing several turns before it's happening with his deck. Because it just does not have amber control. And we knew there was still a lot of Untamed left. But I think that was the thing I was thinking from the other games, is like that this deck just has enough burst to get there ahead of this. Might be just barely, but the Untamed can just go crazy. Gorger is an interesting card, especially the Evil Twin. I don't even know what like the regular one does. I don't think I own a regular Spore Gorger. But it's pretty similar to this, right? It still has like the, I think it gives itself power counters, but then still has like almost the same reap effect, right? I don't know. But that is KAGI game 2, so we're not going to get booted from the league at the end of this month, which is good. But it's been quiet on our let's see. Where are so we'll see how many more of these we get in before we get close to deadline. We are in Unfathomable. Oops. All right, I think we're ready to go watch some Vault Tour, right? It's got to be starting pretty soon. Also, I think, yeah, it's been weird. Like, ours has just been super quiet. One player came in like first week. The first game I had, that player I think played everyone within like the first week, and now they're like done and in second amber already. And literally, like, almost no one else has even posted on our Discord. Yeah, let's see. We did 8 chains. Why would number lock ever be turned off on my keyboard? 3. No, this is also the same, I think, as last round. Or last match. My deck was DT. Deck was Worlds Collide, classic matchup. Mine is a 70. Is I got too much of the text in there, but that's okay. 64. Wow, that's a 64. It's just kind of one of those decks which Worlds Collide has where it's kind of like if you have the one answer to it, which is a lot of creature control, then it does nothing. If you don't, it steamrolls you. But yeah, that is KAGI match number 2 in the books for this season at 2-0 so far, but no 2-0s yet. Both of them going to that third game with chain bidding, which is scary. But again, I feeling better about my deck choices when it comes to the chain bidding, even though we haven't bid chains on my decks yet. I think I feel a lot more confident about the other deck my deck being more consistent in what it's going to do game to game, which I think might not be for everyone in KAGI, but it's been helping me a lot. So really like that. But anyways, if you have not been watching the Vault Tour, I recommend you to get over there. Again, I think if it hasn't started soon, or if it hasn't started already, it's starting very soon. I was trying to check where we're at. Is it just not working? Oh no, we got people on there. So yeah, go check that out, and we'll update the lights around the stream sometime. Oh, I'm trying to remember what you meant. They only make 75% of a circle. Oh, like the image, they don't go all the way around. That's because it's like a cheap loop from like Canva. I can see if it can do better, but yeah, I can understand how that would be annoying. I should find a new one for that. And I totally forgot to be in. Oh no, I was in full screen for those matches, wasn't I? I always want to be in full screen because it looks better on this layout. But yeah, I'll look into a new background. I've had this one for a while, and I need to up my game. But thank y'all for hanging out and watching. Dinobots, GGs. Those were interesting games for sure. It was a very interesting matchup with the way the DT controls creatures or lacks creature control versus those dinos are just so nasty. Like that pod is just so oppressive. It's scary, but yeah, it's a fun one. We'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Take care.